Hey there. Before we dive in, I really want to thank you for being here, for taking this time for yourself.
The fact that you're even watching this, it tells me something really important about you. It tells me you're willing to pause, to actually show up for yourself. And that's huge. My whole goal here is just to bring some clarity, to help you figure out if this approach, if this path is really the right one for you.
So, before we really get into it, how about we just take a second? Seriously, get comfortable. If you want to grab a cup of tea or just take a deep breath, now's the time. Just let yourself settle in.
Okay, so a lot of people who find their way here have a similar story. They've probably tried traditional talk therapy. And look, that kind of work is so valuable. It absolutely has its place. But like anything, it has its strengths and it also has its limits. The work we're going to explore together is, well, it's different. And here's where we get to the heart of that difference. Yeah, we're still going to talk, of course, but the focus, the center of gravity, you can say, is much more on feeling. See, a lot of talk-based work zooms in on the logical mind, right? Our thoughts, the stories we tell ourselves over and over. This body-based work, it's a bit of a deeper dive. We're going into the feeling brain, into the world of physical sensations and what we call the unconscious.
Which, of course, brings up a really big question, probably the most important one. Why the body? I mean, why does the body matter so much in all of this? And it's a fair question, isn't it? I think we've all wondered this at some point. Why can't we just think our way out of our problems? Analyze them, understand them with our smart, logical brains, and just talk our way out of the tough stuff, out of those patterns that just keep showing up and holding us back. Well, the answer is it's actually pretty simple, but it is so, so important. And it starts with this. Trauma, our patterns, our deepest wounds, they don't just live in our thoughts. It lives in the body. That's it. That's the core idea. And once you really get that, it changes everything about how we can approach healing. Okay, to really wrap our heads around this, let's go way back. Think about when you were a little kid. Your logical brain, the part that analyzes and makes sense of the world, it wasn't really online yet. But your feeling brain, oh, it was working overtime. It was constantly scanning your environment, asking, am I safe? Is there danger? Do I belong here? And because of that, our earliest, most powerful experiences didn't get filed away as neat little stories. They were absorbed directly into our bodies, long before we had the words for any of it. And that's why trying to find the roots of our patterns means we have to work with the unconscious. And how does the unconscious talk to us? Well, it speaks the language of the body. It speaks through all those little sensations, those gut feelings, those tensions you feel in your shoulders. That's its voice. Okay, so you're probably thinking, this all sounds interesting, but what does it actually look like? What do we do? And that's a great question. It's definitely not just a random floaty process. There's a very clear, very supportive rhythm to how this work unfolds. Basically, it boils down to a three-part rhythm. First, we have understand. This is the why. I'll share some simple science about what's going on in your nervous system so you're not in the dark. Then comes experience. This is the heart of it, where we actually work with your body, with what you're feeling, with your inner world. And finally, integrate. This is where we put the pieces together. We talk about it, make sense of those aha moments, and notice how things are starting to shift in your actual day-to-day life. So with all of that laid out, we come back to you, the big question, the only one that really matters. Is this path the right one for you, right here, right now? This work is going to be a really good fit if you're feeling that pull to go beyond just talking about the issues. If you're ready and willing to get to the root of your patterns, not just dealing with the symptoms that keep popping up. And hey, it's just as important to be honest about what this isn't. If what you're really looking for is some quick advice or someone to just reassure you, or maybe a single session to just vent and get it all out, this probably isn't the best fit. And that's completely okay. There's no judgment in that at all. Different needs just call for different kinds of support. But if you're curious about what real, lasting change feels like, change that isn't just in your head, but involves your entire being, your mind, and your body working together, then yeah, you are absolutely in the right place. So just let all of this sink in. Take your time with it. There is absolutely no rush. And when you feel ready, you can just move on to the next video. Thank you so much for your time and for your attention. It really means a lot.